All right, guys, it's week 14. We are back. Mark and Adam from the Sports Corner. Week 13 is over with. Adam did great. He swept all the Thanksgiving games, the Black Friday game. He had those underdogs, and those dogs won. But hopefully, you guys had a great Thanksgiving or whatever you did. Hopefully, you had a relaxing week to take from work or whatever. Kids, family, God knows what. But hopefully, you had a good time. Adam, your Packers won. My Eagles lost to your second favorite team. I don't know, man. That was a crazy week, but you killed it the first 4 days. How was your Thanksgiving? Did the food live up to the standards that everybody enjoy? Because I know you like your big you were cooking for a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm always pretty critical. I didn't really plan very well for 5 things in the oven at once. That's not my typical. So it kind of crapped out a little bit, but it was fine. We had a lot more people here than we're used to, so it was. I was laying on the couch for the whole weekend after. I'll just say that, but it was good. You?
Yeah. I thank God for catering. Say for that.
Yeah.
Because I am not a good cook, and well, I cook. I try. I'm not the best. I'm not ready here to cook any big dinners. So, thank God for catering. They saved the day, and we watched the games, and yeah, you killed it. I went 2-2 those days, and you went 4-0 on the Thursday, Friday games. But we'll get all to that, guys. Like and subscribe. It goes a long way, as usual. Small podcast here, but we love doing it. We're almost to 100 subscribers. It'd be great to get there. But guys, week 13 is in the books. Let's start with week 14, Thursday night matchup. We have the Cowboys versus the Lions, with the Lions being favored 3 points. And the over-under is 54.5. I wrote this on Tuesday, so shop your numbers for the best book. Adam, this is one of the better games, I say, for Thursday for Prime, because usually these Thursday games are just crappy. But two teams who, honestly, whoever loses this week, they're going to be in hard times to reach the playoffs. But Detroit is now stumbling. They take a game they couldn't have. They really couldn't afford to lose to the Packers, and then before they lost to the Eagles. So they have been, since they lost to the Chiefs, they have lost one, won one, lost one, won one, lost one. They're just doing back and forth, back and forth. But like I said, losing 2 out of 3 in the last 3 weeks, and barely beating the Giants before they lost to the Packers. But like I said, they needed that win against the Packers, and they lose. So they are in third place in the NFC North. And then the Cowboys, they're surging. They're on their way they're on their way trying to win the NFC East, because now they're back to that, because of my Philadelphia Eagles falling like a stone. But that's neither here nor there. They are potentially trying to get that wild card spot, that 7th spot, the best shot they get, or winning the NFC East. And they're on a kind of a winning streak, if you will. They're one of the hottest teams right now, winning 3 out of the last 4. So they're great. I don't know, man. I think we said about this last week, but Detroit, there's just something not right about them. And they don't seem like from the same team from last year. And I think that kind of I don't know. I kind of think that kind of proved this right with the loss of the Packers. What did you think when they lost the Packers?
Yeah, I think the Ben Johnson absence of him is really showing. I don't think the Lions have that explosive offense that they used to have. Ben Johnson's great at drawing up those big shot plays that are so huge in the NFL now. And if you can't rely on that as a team, they just don't have that same punch. They're still good. They scored points. They moved the ball when they needed to. But that defense wasn't good enough. Jordan Love played amazing against them. And for every punch the Lions had, the Packers had a punch back. They didn't get to Love once, I don't think. Hutchinson, their star D lineman, has not been, I think, what people were hoping he was going to be this year. So they just don't have that same punch. They're still a good team, but I'm just not scared of them. Also, Jahmyr Gibbs got absolutely clamped by the Packers.
Yeah.
So
Detroit, I think what worries me, we'll get to the big injury, losing their star wide receiver, but they only have 1 sack in the last 3 weeks. That is not going to cut it, folks. Once you get to the cream to the crop, once you start playing these playoff teams, you have to get to the quarterback. You have to. Why did the Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Because the front four got to Patrick Mahomes. You need to do this, and having 1 sack in 3 weeks, I'm sorry, that's not going to cut it. I don't care how this Hutchinson guy, I don't know how hyped he is. I think he's a good DN. I don't think he's a great DN. Maybe he'll become a great DN in the future, but you're right about him. He's not living up to what they pay him for. But who's out there helping him? There's nobody really scary, especially that secondary. They are beat up everywhere too. That secondary. So I understand that, but 1 sack in 3 games is pathetic. And they have allowed the most receiving touchdowns to wideouts of any team this season. So you can pass on this team and you can hit that deep ball. So wideouts are getting touchdowns like crazy. So here, let's just get to it. The Amari St. Brown out for I think weeks. I've heard maybe they might. I don't know. Did they put him on the IR? I'm not entirely sure.
I don't think so, not yet. But I haven't been. It says he's questionable for this game, so he's not even officially out yet. But I don't know.
I think it's one of the stupid things that they're hanging on for God knows what. But I don't hold your breath. I guarantee that he's going to be hurt. But also, Pini Sewell, he is questionable with the shoulder injury. The other offensive tackle, Decker, he's questionable with another shoulder injury. Brian Branch, these guys are all questionable. Joseph has already been ruled out for this game. So they got questions all, especially the whole offensive line. The whole offensive line, besides one of their guards, is all beat up. The other guard, too, he's questionable with the foot injury. So pay attention. The center, he's questionable with the knee injury. Pay attention to that. They are beat up everywhere, and don't count on St. Brown playing this game. He is not playing this game. So that's what the Lions. They are reeling right now. They can't get after the quarterback. Their whole offensive line is beat up, and St. Brown is out for I think multiple weeks, and they're now in third place in the NFC North. Let's get to a team that's on the rise. Their opponent, the Cowboys. They come off a win against Kansas City Chiefs, really great win. That's a 3-game winning streak. They beat the Super Bowl guys from last year, the Eagles and the Chiefs, and they're getting a little bit of news. They're everybody's seen their defense has been stepping it up since the trade of Quinnen Williams and that linebacker from the Bengals. But now they get Diggs. Diggs is coming off the IR, I believe, for this game. If he's not even going to come out for this game, I want to double check this in real time for you guys. But if he comes for this game or the next game, that is a big jump for them. He's been ruled out for this game. Okay. And their tackle has been ruled out for this game as well. But Diggs is on the mend, and that's just going to help them, their defense, become better than they were in the previous weeks, because they were awful in those weeks before that. But we don't have to spend too much on that. We know their defense is stepping up. Quinnen Williams has cut the rushing defense in half, as in they're one of the worst rushing defenses in the league to now they're in the middle of the pack. That makes a big difference. That because he's just a dominant, one of the better interior linemen in the league. But this is all about the offense as usual. It's and that's what I'm coming to, Adam. I just told you the Detroit Lions, they let the wideouts score the most touchdowns against them. Trevor Arnold, one of their starting corners, out for the year. He's done. So this new defense, this Quinnen Williams, it gets a beat-up offensive line. This amazing offense of CeeDee Lamb and Pickens and Dak Prescott throwing against this beat-up secondary. I know they're in Detroit. I know Detroit has foaming at the mouth to need this win, but it is hard to press because there's not many positives with this Detroit team right now.
No, and like I said, they're foaming at the mouth, but they've been foaming at the mouth for weeks now. They kind of paired that last year with great coaching and explosive play. Right now, they only have the attitude, and I don't know how long that's going to last. If they lose this game, this team could crumble and their season's over. And you just got to love what you see from the Cowboys. Their Dak is playing like MVP levels, quarterback. Their offense is electric, and the defense is much better. So I feel like for Cowboys fans, they have to be kind of pissed about the Parsons trade just because it messed up the whole beginning of their season. I feel like they would have loved to have those trades, 5 weeks earlier or whatever. But I don't think anybody wants to play the Cowboys right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Also, don't forget Laporta's out. He's been out for, I think he's out for the year. So that people keep on forgetting that. It's kind of a little, a little. I'm happy about to see this just because ever since Samari St. Brown did that little Trump dance, they've been going down the crapper. So that's good to see. I like to see it as well. But the way they're going to stay in this game, Gibbs have to go off again. He's gonna have to go off. I like JMO still at the wide receiver. Mixing him with I think they have some solid other receivers, but JMO needs to go off the deep ball. But they need to rely on the running game, Montgomery and Gibbs, and they need a JMO to go over the top and play action, and they need to protect Goff. And like I just told you, the offensive line is all beat up. So, I know we were just kind of crapping on the Lions for the most part, but one good thing about them is that they're 13-1 against the spread in their last 14 games, following an outright loss. So that's something to see. And also, the Cowboys defense ranks last in opponents' third down conversion. So they're letting teams convert on them like nobody's business. And like I just told you, after a loss, the Lions are covering spreads, but I'm going to take the Cowboys plus the 3 points. I see a team going down the drain. I see a team that's too beat up. It's too beat up, especially that secondary offensive line. A team that feasts off bad corners in this Cowboys offense. So I think the Cowboys. I think it's going to be back and forth. I think there's a lot of points scored, but I think eventually the Cowboys could keep it close, but also, win outright. So I think the Cowboys win this, and I'm gonna take plus 3 points, man. Unfortunately, I'm taking the Cowboys win because they're right behind the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. You can never count the Lions out, but the Cowboys are just playing great, and they can score with anybody. So, Cowboys for me.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's gonna be a great game, but I don't know. I have no confidence in the Lions. And also, Dan Campbell, this guy, hey, buddy, kick a field goal for once. Kick a couple of field goals. You don't have to go on fourth down on every single play. I like aggressive coaches, but you don't have to go bonkers on every fourth. That's what did you with the Eagles. You saw last week. It's fourth. I'm exaggerating, but 4th and 10, let it fly, baby. No, or they're on their 49 or their 45. Mm-hmm. Let's go for you. Let's give them good field position. You can't give the Cowboys good field position because that offense will make you suffer. So Dan Campbell, get it straight, or let somebody else do the play calling for you. All right, now let's talk about two crappy teams. We're going from a good Thursday night game to a crappy Sunday game. We have the Dolphins versus the Jets. Miami being favored by 3 points and the over/under 40.5. Dolphins are coming off an actual disappointing win, because I'm not lying to you. I was like ready to throw the mortgage, the bank account, the cars on the Dolphins to cover, and they look good in the first half to cover, and they go downhill in the second half. So a disappointing win, in my opinion, to the Saints. But hey, they're on a 3-game winning streak. Damn well what's his name's happy, McDaniel, so you could probably say maybe save his job for next season. I think the Miami would be dumb to let him go another year. But besides that, A-Chain is looking really great. His best year, actually, of his whole career. He's over 1,000 yards now. I think there's only like 3 or 4 running backs right now. He's one of them. So that's good to see. I like to see him. I'm a big fan of his. And that's good to see because the Jets are allowing 131 rushing yards a game to their opponent. So they're bleeding like a sieve when it comes to the rush game. And their defense, you know what? In this the games they've been in the last 5 games, their defense only allowed 16.2 points per game. So they've been fighting. They've been feisty in the last 5 games. They still have guys there. I like Darren Waller. He came back from injury reserve. Probably got to shake some more of that rust off. They still have Waddle and they still have A-Chain. I think that's a good combo. Tua, okay, average, better than average quarterback, not the best, but they have weapons there, man. Defense still a little shaky, but they're stepping up, it looks like, in the last 5 games, even though they traded some guys. Now let's talk about the Jets. They're coming off a win versus the Falcons. I'm glad I had the Jets to cover that one. If you look at that game, which I watched because the Falcons are just a crap show. I just like watching the Falcons because they're so disappointing of a franchise, of a team this year. But I was watching that game, And they nothing special the Jets did or the Falcons did. AD Mitchell, who the guy that traded for the Colts, that's what you want to see. You traded for this guy. He had over 100 yards receiving, I believe. Even Michi, he had some bad drops in that game, but they're using him. As I said before this game started last week, the Jets game against the Falcons, I told you guys they're starting to have a little better core than they started off in the beginning year. I don't know if Gary Wilson's going to come back. They might want to keep him in the they said he will come back, but it might be best to keep him, on the IR or whatever. But if he did come back, Gary Wilson, A.J. Mitchell, and Michi and Brees Hall is an actually decent offense. I actually like it. I like the potential of A.D. Mitchell. I know he did some screwy stuff in Indiana, but that's the potential you want to see. Brees Hall, he's there for another year, give or take, another 2 years. Regardless, not a bad team, especially when Gary Wilson comes back. Jets are 8-4 against the spread this year. That's really good from a team that really sucks. So they're covering spreads left and right. And, I don't know. Not much to say about this game, man. The Jets are still crappy. I understand that. Good win potential, but I'm not buying into it. I think what it comes down to is this. Miami is doing the same thing they did last year. They had a big rush last year. They won a bunch of these games, and they saved McDaniel's ass, and he now is the head coach again. Are they going to do that again, go on a big stretch of wins and potentially go over 500 and have that momentum going? Or, I don't know what the Jets are fighting for. I think the key is, can the Miami keep the streak going, but also can they play in the cold, because they suck in the cold. And it's going to be, it's going to be cold up there in East Rutherford in New Jersey where the Jets play. What do you think, man? I'll let you take this first one. Not much to say about these two teams. It's hard. Miami's rolling. Jets got a little oomph in them, but still two crappy teams.
Yeah, they're both on the frisky side of the crappy team tier. I think it's a pretty even match, but I think I will just take the points and go with the Jets at home.
Yeah, I was iffy about this one because it's still a rivalry game. It's still an individual game. I think I lean towards the points too because of the cold. I think A-Chain's going to get his. I think he's really going to give me anytime touchdown for him in this game, and also possibly over his rushing yards. But I just don't like the Dolphins in the cold. They're notoriously not do so well in the cold. So just on weather, I'm taking the points plus with the Jets. So give us both the Jets plus the points on a game that's really not gonna be worth watching, but we'll see. Now let's go to actually a good rival game, but a game that's who's gonna win first place here. We have the Steelers versus the Ravens. Baltimore being favored by surprisingly 7 points and an over under 42.5. The Steelers are coming off a blowout loss to the Bills, and what can you say about that game? Aaron Rodgers is playing with one hand. Should he been in the game? I'm not really entirely sure he should have. And then he got his nose broke or something, leaking like a sieve on one of those plays, and they took him out and they put up Mason Rudolph, which I don't know why they don't get off him and have a decent backup. But regardless, he got hurt, okay? And if he does play this game, which I see no indication that he won't play this game, he's still playing with a fucked up hand. A hand that's messed up, and probably battling other injuries. They've lost 3 out of 4, 3 out of the last 4 games. They're still one of the worst rushing teams in all football. They're only averaging 93.8 yards a carry with Gainwell and Warden. And I know the Steelers game is throwing more shorting passes, but if you're how do you protect the quarterback? How do you protect the quarterback? With a running game. Get that going. Get Caleb Johnson, the rookie. Get him some run here. But no, still one of the worst rushing attacks. Some news, maybe some, I doubt it, but maybe some is that they signed Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen was released by the Vikings, and they do pick him up off the waiver wire. Now, can he be any worse than Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson? Probably not. I'd probably actually start Adam Thielen right aside of DK Metcalf, to be honest with you. I would just throw him out there and be like, hey, buddy, you're a vet. Get us something. We need anything we can get here, because Roman Wilson, another guy, in my opinion, have been disappointment. They did a release of Darius Slay, but that might be a good thing because Darius Slay was allowing a QB rating of over 100 when quarterbacks targeted him. So that's probably addition of what they call it, addition by subtraction. So that's probably
Exactly.
Michael Scott style. So with that, man, also their starting tackle is out for the year. He was just he's gone for the year too. So, dude, I know you were a stalwart Rodgers fan from back in the days, but I've been saying weeks ago, I think you were with me on that. The Steelers are pretenders. I think it's like, okay, Mike Tomlin now's on the fire. Like, they're actually talking about he's going to lose his job. I think the chickens are coming to roost here. I think you think the same thing.
I do. I mean, they were chanting "Fire Tomlin" last week.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever happened. I know Tomlin's like a big, locker room guy, so I'm thinking the Steelers will bounce back after that. But still, they are a very limited team that I don't know what kind of ceiling he can push them to. But I do think it'll be a good showing from the Steelers this week.
Yeah. Also, a little bit on the Mike Tomlin thing. He's like lost the first round of the playoffs like the last 10 years. So like he's been getting there, and they like to hang their hat on that Tom has a losing record. Okay, cool. So are we just gonna get knocked out of the playoffs the first round every year then?
Yep.
Ben Roethlisberger's not walking through that door anymore. So I don't know. I actually think it might be a good time to move on with him and get a fresh look at the for their team. But besides that, maybe a little positive news, some encouragement for the Steelers is that Lamar Jackson's beat up, folks, and he did not practice today, Thursday. Okay, and that's not a good sign. You might want to wait till Friday for the last injury report. Maybe Saturday. They said Tyler Huntley will start in his place. So right now, when I wrote all this on Tuesday, I got this 7 points. I wouldn't be shocked if it drops like a stone if Lamar Jackson does not play. So keep an eye out for that because he is beat up. So they're coming off a loss to the Bengals. Bengals handled them, honestly. And, the offense doesn't look good. I'm just saying the offense just looks terrible for the Ravens, which we're not accustomed to. Not only they're not giving Zay Flowers the ball. Zay Flowers isn't even playing anymore. Like, how are you not getting one of your best wide receiver? How are you not getting him in some flats? Getting him into what's that offense called where the receiver actually receives the ball from the center? Yeah, get him some wildcat. Throw some screens. He's your best weapon. He's your possibly your fastest weapon, and I don't see him anywhere on the field. Like, I don't see anything. Some quick. Get him out. Get him on the open space. I don't know why they're not doing that. Henry, he like we said, he is not the same Henry. He is like I don't know. He isn't like having I think he's like 2 100-yard games in the last 7 games, give or take that. So take that for what it will, but he does not look good. Lamar Jackson completion rate is less than 60% in the last month. So he's basically throwing 50-50 balls out there. And I want to point out that he has 1 passing touchdown the whole month, Lamar Jackson. That means likely Mark Andrews, who they gave him a contract extension to. That means to all of his weapons. So even including Zay Flowers and Bateman, he has 1 passing touchdown in a month, people. That's not good. I don't care. Also, Lamar Jackson, the guy who's known for using his legs, he hasn't rushed over 36 yards since week 10. So he's not rushing the ball that much as well.
To combine with that, he's not moving well in the pocket. He's getting sacked like a maniac. Yeah. He's had games where it's like 5+ sacks.
Yeah. So, the injuries are catching up to him. And, when he was out for that many weeks, it might have been good to let him out for more because it looks like he's not completely healed from this. So, dude, this all depends on the quarterbacks. This matchup depends on, okay, how healthy are Rodgers and Jackson? I think that's what it comes down to this matchup and this spread. Is Rodgers going to come back with a bit of a fire in him and keep this team alive? or the Ravens, who they don't even know if Lamar Jackson hasn't come to play. Um, and with the news on him not playing Thursday, with this Ravens offense being just stagnant and Henry kind of losing gas, I got to take this big number. Like I got this number at this time. So, like I said, shop your books. You might get it at the number right now I'm seeing on ESPN Bet is 5.5. But like I said, I wrote this at 7. So I'm going to take the Ravens plus the 7 points. I mean, the Steelers plus the 7 points.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I would even take it today at the 5.5. I don't like what I've seen from the Ravens at all, and I feel like I just got a feeling the Steelers are gonna bounce back this week.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I want to make I want to take a look for people watching right now at the best number they can get it today, Thursday. The best number I'm seeing right now for the Ravens and Steelers game is no. The best number you get it is at 6 points. I mean 5.5 points right now. So that's the best number you can get it at right now. But like I said, I'm with Adam. It opened at 7, and now it's 5.5. So yeah, man, I just don't like what I'm seeing from the Ravens offense. I think the Steelers can keep it close enough and possibly win this outright because, we don't know what we're getting from either if Lamar Jackson's going to play. And I think Lamar Jackson, he's like the only offensive weapon they have. So give me the big number with the this big rival game. They're fighting for first place? Who's going to win it? So let's go to another in division game, another rivalry. We have the Saints versus the Buccaneers, with the Buccaneers being favored by 8.5 and the over under 42.5 points. Saints, they're coming off a loss, but they're coming off a cover as well, as me and Adam both had the Miami covering that game, but they kept it close enough, and they had a chance to win an outright. Actually, I believe there was an interception or something happened, but they almost had a chance to win that game outright. Look, there's not much to talk about the Saints. We all know who they are. They have a middling defense. It's in the middle pack of everything. So that's something they can kind of do or hang their hat on, if you will. Like they allow 24 points a game. Okay, not terrible, but they only put up 15 points a game, which is what the second worst in the league or third worst in the league. You know, Alvin Kamara, guys out. They haven't scored more than 17 points in their last 6 games. And they also lost by double digits this 6 times already. So they're getting blown out. I don't know, dude. There's not much to say about the Saints. Like I like Juwan Johnson, the tight end. He's become a real weapon for them. I like Chris Olave. He has a shot to go over 1,000 yards receiving this year, which that says a lot with the 2 crappy quarterbacks. I mean, the rookie, whatever his name is, what's his name, Adam? Shuck. He hasn't even passed Spencer Rattler yet in passing yards. So it's like, there's nothing here to say positive. They lost their center a couple weeks ago, who was the best center, one of the better centers in the league. Nothing to say about this team. Like I said, I like a couple weapons. Their defense is middle of the pack, and some points they're worse. So there it is with the Saints. Excuse me. About the Buccaneers, let's go straight to them. They came off a close win against the Cardinals. I had the Cardinals in that one, but a win regardless, a must win, because they were kind of on the downtrodden. They were going down, and they needed this win like nobody's business. Because before that they lost 3 in a row, and I was in the camp that was like, okay, the things are coming down to them, but they still didn't cover this, and they let the Cardinals almost come back and win that game. But regardless, a tough win, and they need to stay ahead of the Panthers, because the Panthers are right on their heels. The Panthers have a bye this week, so they can make up some half a game there, but they got to stay ahead of the Carolina Panthers. What can you say about this team? I don't like their defense. Their defense is still, regardless of health, if they got them healthier, which they are getting healthier, this team, I still don't like their defense. I still think it's Swiss cheese. There's a couple guys here and there, like Vila, but there's nobody really here. Nobody else. You really Weatherspoon. That's about it. Dean. What else? You don't think you really want to hang your hat on. they're getting healthy. Like I said, Bucky Irving, that's a great thing for them. Bucky Irving, I think that could take a lot of pressure off Mayfield trying to play Superman. So he doesn't have to sacrifice his body like he has been in the previous games. So having him back pays way dividends. They could really rely on a rushing attack with the three solid running backs they have, including Irving, Tucker, and Rashad White. Godwin is getting healthier and healthier. He played a full game last week, so him, the rookie from Ohio State, Mbuke, Keda, and I also believe they what's his name? The rookie they had there, Jalen McMillan. I believe he is also he's getting some time in. Regardless, their offense is looking great. I don't know, Adam. I think Juwan Johnson will be a problem for them, and I like him as an anytime touchdown. Him or Chris Olave, and I can't take the Saints. I just can't take the Saints. Like, no. Even though they had a good cover against the Dolphins, but this is a rival game. I understand, and these teams know each other, but how can you? I mean, I'll check this one, but I think you know where I'm leaning.
Yeah, the one thing I can't remember if you said or not, but it looks like Tristan Wirfs might not play.
I didn't say that.
So that's something to keep an eye on. But still, with Bucky Irving back and that rushing attack, I do think the Bucs keep going. And there's just no way you can put your hope and money on the line with the Saints.
Yeah, I think the big thing is Bucky Irving for me. It really is. Mm-hmm. Now, Tristan Wirfs does hurt if he doesn't play. And I'm just seeing that on the now. But I think if the Bucs just concentrate on rushing the ball and then letting Mayfield open it up with his good receiving core, and Mike Evans is now practicing. His window was open, by the way. He won't play this game, obviously, but keep an eye on that. But that's it. I think they feed Bucky, feed him, or feed this rushing core, and I think that will keep the game away. I am worried about it, though. I have this worry about it back. This 42.5 is not a big number, so the Vegas saying it's gonna be a low-scoring game. So 8.5 on a low-scoring game is sometimes you want to take that. So keep an eye on that. But like I said, they look like without Evan Kamara, I don't know if this is plausible, but I'm going to take the Buccaneers to cover the 8.5 points in this game. Wait, you know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm going to take the Saints plus the 8.5 points.
There you go. Some misdirection.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. I just thought about it. I was like, I don't like this Buccaneers defense. I just don't. Now, the Tampa Bay might light them up, but maybe who knows? I'll probably get this wrong. But give me the Saints to plus 8.5, and you want the Buccaneers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's talk about another game, another division game, another game that is going to be one of the better games of the week. Both of these guys are tied for first place. We have the Colts versus the Jaguars, with the Colts being favored by 2.5 points, and the over-under is 47.5. Now, they're both tied for first place. The Colts are reeling, though. They are looking like, not the Colts in the first half of the season. They've lost 3 of the last 4 games. Sauce Gardner is weak. He's weak for week, so he's probably not going to play this game. So keep an eye out for that. Their prized possession they traded for, he's hurt. So I think it's a calf injury, and those are pretty reliable when you're a football player or you need them. So he's down for this game. Look, I don't know what's up with them. It's like Daniel Jones is not reverting back to the old Daniel Jones, but there's some glimpse of him a little more than usual than the beginning of the year. That you're like, is he coming back or is he not? So he doesn't look like he's bad with the Giants, but he does not look like he's like, how he looked in the first half. That's all I'm saying. So keep an eye out for that. Even Jonathan Taylor, 3 of the last 40 games, he hasn't rushed over 100 yards. So even Jonathan Taylor has been held back just a bit. I mean, if I'm a opposing defense, I'm loading the box up in general. Daniel Jones, beat us. You got to beat us, not Jonathan Taylor. So keep that eye out. 3 of the last 4 games, not over 100 yards. And Jonathan Taylor is their bread and butter. Offensively, they're still averaging 29.8 points a game. So they still got that. But in the the 3 games they lost out of the last 4 games, they only put up 16, 20, and 20. So they're not even living up to that out of the last month. So keep an eye out for that. This defense is still middling. It's nothing to write home about. Like I said, they're middle of a lot of their defense things. So I don't know, dude. The Colts, they're kind of, there's nobody really scares you. Alec Pierce is their leading receiver, big over the top guy. Pittman, the ball spread around a lot, but I don't know. There's just like, I feel like they're losing their lightning. And am I like? Do you feel the same way? It kind of feels like the Lions a bit, that they're losing their their muster.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know if it's like teams figured out their scheme or what's going on. I know they're still putting up points, but I was really big on them in the beginning of the year. In the last couple of weeks I've watched, I just haven't been impressed. Even in the games that they won, a couple weeks ago they went to overtime with the Falcons. Like, they are not putting teams away like they should. So I'm definitely worried.
Yeah, and they finally get Charvarius Ward back, their corner, and then Sauce Gardner goes down. So they're not even going to be able to play with their 2 type of corners, guys. Charvarius, they signed, and Sauce Gardner. So keep an eye, folks. The offense is puttering right now, okay? It's not as bad as like the Saints, but it's not what we're used to. Have the Colts have been producing in the beginning of the season. And they're going to need their offense as much as they can, because the Jaguars are coming off a dominant win versus the Titans. They're in a 3-game winning streak. Trevor Lawrence, he's still iffy. He's still sketchy, in my opinion. He's what do I got written down here? He's still like the ratio between touchdown and interception is not that great from a guy who they picked in the first round. I repeat this multiple times, but he's still, Liam Cohen doesn't look like he's fixed them that much. Like I said, I like their little offensive core they got going on. I said that last week. I think it could be a bit dangerous, because Jacoby Myers is getting more used to the scheme. He had a great game last week. And also Brendan Strange, their tight end, who was one of their good weapons, if not their best weapon, before he got hurt. And having Strange, Brian Thomas Jr., and Jacoby Myers, I think that's a solid offensive core with Trevor and Tini. So be aware, it could be a tad dangerous. And Trevor and Tini is probably going to go over 1,000 yards rushing this year. So that's a nice little core to go against this Colts team. Josh Allen, the DN, I just want to mention that he has 16 pressures and 3 sacks in the last 2 weeks. Nobody's even come close to that with the pressures. So he is getting after the quarterback, and that's something you want to see, because they invested a lot to their defensive ends. Other than that, man, and they'll need his help, by the way. The Jaguars have a lot of injuries. If you check their injury report, not that I say all these guys are going to be out, but they're going to need help on the. They're going to need Allen to get home, because if Trevon Walker misses the game, their other defensive end, it's not going to be good news there, because those 2 guys are their best pass rushers. And anybody besides them, they really don't have anybody besides them. I don't know, man. This is going to be a great game. It all depends if like they can get the rushing game going. Even the Jaguars off defense is only allowing 21 points game, and also the Jags are 4-1 against the spread playing at home, and they've averaged 29.2 points over the last 5 weeks. The Jaguars in the last 5 weeks are putting up points. They're 4-1 at home against the spread. Do you think rivalry game? Do you think the Colts could pick it up, or do you think they can turn it around? Do you think Jonathan Taylor can rise up, or do you think it's or do you believe in the Jags trending up for it, and they're just going to take this game?
I feel like every time I've gotten on the Jags bandwagon, they've fallen apart. I just am never confident in betting them, but I'm going to give it one last ride. I don't like what I've seen from the Colts, and yeah, I think the Jaguars defense can get a little frisky and rattle Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I like the over in this game if I was going to bet that more than anything. These defenses, both these teams are, I think, average to better than average at the most. But it's tough. It's a rivalry game. You have 2 quarterbacks that I don't have my full trust in. I think they're good quarterbacks, are better than average quarterbacks. They're good starters, if you will. But you know, to me, it's just like I'm gonna take any points I can get, and I'm gonna take the Jaguars to plus 2.5 points. I think if they just they have to force Daniel Jones to beat them. And I think Daniel Jones, I think Daniel Jones got the rush like he did with the Giants and help this offensive out. And I think they're going to need a big game from Jonathan Taylor. But I think the Jaguars, I think they could coach up. Liam Cohen could coach something up, and they can possibly win this game outright. So give us both the Jaguars to cover the number plus the 2.5 points. Excuse me again, jeez. So now let's go to the crappiest game of the week. Two teams fighting for that first round draft pick, which pretty sure the Titans will get. We have the Titans versus the Browns. Browns being favored by 4.5, and the over/under 33.5 points. Not too much to spend about this game, man. Tennessee's coming off a loss to the Jaguars. They're on a 7-game losing streak. The Browns, I believe, are coming a loss to the 49ers, right? Yeah, they're coming off a loss to the 49ers. Mm-hmm. I don't know. This is the battle of the terrible teams. I guess it comes down to this, Adam. One team is very good at one thing, and the other team has nothing. They're very good at anything, and that's the Browns. The Browns have one thing they're elite at, and it's that defense, okay? Especially Myles Garrett and a team like Cam Ward, the Tennessee Titans, who've let Cam Ward, who's been sacked 48 times. That does not bode well for a team that their best thing about them is their defense. And I think that's what it comes down to, man. Yeah, yes, the quarterbacks matter. Yes, which one will show up? God knows who's going to show up. Is it going to be Shadir or is it going to be Cam Ward? I think Cam Ward and Shadir, they're actually not too far from each other on how bad they really are this season. But I like the Browns in this one. I'm just going to say I like the Browns to cover the 4.5 points. They have the better weapons when you take a look at it. I like Quinton Judkins at running back more than any of the running backs the Titans have. I like Jerry Jeudy. I like Tillman. I like the tight end combo of Haynes and Nakua. If I'm saying that right, I like those guys over than anything the Tennessee Titans have. Now, don't get me wrong. The Tennessee Titans, Okanawa, whatever that guy's name is, decent. That they have a good kick returner guy, punt returner guy who does really well in space. They have a lot of young guys. I just don't like it. The Browns are also 7-3 against the spread in their last 6 games when they're home favorites. So I'll take that. Give me the Browns to cover the 4.5 points.
Yeah, that's easy for me too. I think if you want to have a prop bet, Myles Garrett could break the record this week. He needs 4 sacks, and I think he's going to be like, let's just get this done. I mean it could be bad.
Tennessee, get the body bags ready. Just have them there, have the medical staff right there by the head coach. Do you want to know something funny? This is like embarrassing as well. They're selling tickets for $3 for this game. At an NFL football game, $3.
Better come with drink tickets. I want a beer too.
It's like a Chicago White Sox game. Hey, come on Tuesdays.
Wow.
It's $3. I'm sure they're not the best seats, but you know what? If we're around that area, I'd be like, let's just go have a couple of drinks.
I wouldn't even sit. Yeah, just walk around. Go to the bar there and chill.
Yeah, so $3 of tickets for this game is unbelievable. And also I think whoever gets the 14 points is probably going to win this game. Like, Tennessee would be lucky if they could get any points in this game. But God Almighty, $3. I mean, a beer is more than the ticket, dude. A beer. So there you go. There goes to show you how much they're begging this game. So give us both the Browns to cover this game, which should be a god-awful game. So let's stick to 2 god-awful games. We have the Commanders versus the JJ McCarthy. He's back, baby, for the Vikings. Vikings covering 2.5 points. Over-unders 42.5. Look at Washington. Hey, let's give them their props. They took it to the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos needed a field goal kick to take it to overtime, and they almost had it. Mariota just couldn't throw over Benito's head. to for the 2-point conversion to win the game. So props to them. They fought it out. Terry McLaurin is back. Scary Terry. That adds some juice. With Deebo Samuel. I'm glad they moved on from that 7th round pick rookie to be the starter. They now moved to Chris Rodriguez as the starter. I think he's the better back. He just likes to pound through guys. And I think they need that right now. Some guys just like to pit their force and give this offense some thump. But there's weapons. There's Scary Terry's back, and there's Deebo, and they got a nice average running back. So not bad. And Mariota, the guy can still run. Now, Jaden Daniels, I keep on saying he might. I want to hold my breath, guys. I think Commanders, if they're smart, I'm checking the injury report in real time. He's still questionable. He was limited for Wednesday. If they're smart, they need to keep this guy on the injury list because the Commanders are not going nowhere. Their defense is the oldest defense in the league, or their oldest team in the league, but their defense is old. They need to get a good draft pick, and they need to use one of those draft picks and the best defender in the draft. Also, they're getting Noah Brown back this game. So now Noah Brown, Deebo Samuel, and Scary Terry, nice receiving core right there. Bobby Wagner did not practice because of the knee injury. Frankie Lulu, however to say his name is, he also didn't practice with the shoulder injury. Keep an eye on that because Frankie is one of the best guys to get after the quarterback. So keep an eye out for that. But I think it showed that the some heart that they almost took to the Broncos. I think it says more about the Broncos, to be honest with you, because the Broncos have been skidding by so many teams, but they almost took that and won that game. They're 1-5 when they're playing away, so they do not play good when they leave Washington D.C. And the Washington have won each of their last 3 games as underdogs versus opponents on a losing streak. So that's one thing you could take away. The Minnesota obviously on a losing streak, and the Commanders have won 3 games outright when they're facing a team with a losing record the last 3 games as underdogs. So keep that in mind. Now let's talk about the Vikings, who have a quarterback problem like nobody's business. That I still feel so bad for that kid they put at quarterback, Brosmere. I mean, I was like saying, take him out the game. I was like,
he did the impossible, Mark. He had fans asking for JJ McCarthy back.
Yeah, jeez.
I don't know how he did it, but that was really sad.
It was terrible, man. And like Seattle, like what a like birth by fire. Like his first NFL starting game. This kid who started for the Minnesota Gophers in college. They throw him to the Wolves, 2 of the best defenses in the league. And the guy, I think he had like 4 or 5 interceptions.
It was like the second worst QBR in like the modern NFL. Or so. I mean, it was like really bad.
The guy was sacked several times. I think I don't know if it was 2. I know one for sure. Defensive touchdowns, pick sixes. He just threw it up there and threw the kid was getting sacked left and right, and God bless him, but it was terrible. So the Vikings just embarrassing. It's like they talk about having egg on your face, especially against you letting go Sam Darnold, and this is what you get. Welcome to hell, Viking fans, because you're reeling after that. But they're on a 4-game losing streak. I think they lost like 6 out of the last 7 games, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. In the last 3 games, they've been outscored 68-23. So their defense is not even stepping up for them. I mean, but their defense got to be dog tired, with the offense not helping them at all in no shape or form. JJ's back, like I said, 6 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I mean, how big of a step is he above Brosmere? We're splitting hairs, I think, but we're getting there. They're 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games. I don't know, man. I think it comes down to this. Mariota is the better quarterback by far. Do you think Mariota? So the better quarterback is obviously Mariota. The better defense is obviously the Vikings. Do you think the better offense? Because I like the Vikings. I hate to say the Vikings offense is not that good because Justin Jefferson's a maniac, but when you have no quarterback play, your offense is just terrible. So I think the better offense is the Commanders. So again, do you think they'll play? Do you think they can topple and win this game outright, or plus 2.5 points against this? Actually, good Vikings defense, still one of the better secondaries in the league.
They really are. The defense, you watch these games in the first couple series, the Minnesota defense really gives the other team issues, and then the turnovers, the field position, the tiredness starts to add up, and then the wheels just totally fall off. But I mean, the last 2 weeks for the Vikings have been like the Hindenburg, dude. They are gone up in flames. I don't see how they can beat anybody the way they're playing with this quarterback play. And I say it pretty frequently, but like once teams smell blood in the water with these quarterbacks, they just pin their ears back and come after you. So you just can't hide. And I don't see how you can pick the Vikings to win anything right now. So I think Washington, while I don't like them, can handle them.
Yeah, and it also comes down like they're not like because of the bad quarterback play, they're not getting no rushing help. They are the bottom three in no, they're the bottom seven in rushing and their rushing offense, and their passing attack is bottom three in the NFL. How do you when you have Addison and Justin Jefferson, like that is embarrassing. It's just unbelievable, and they're only averaging 18 points a game, which is the fourth worst in the NFL. So to me, it's just like I think it's gonna be close and tight, for this game, and I think eventually the Commanders are gonna take over. And give me the more competent quarterback. And you know what? Maybe the Viking. I think the Commanders can win this outright, even though it's in Minnesota. But I just can't trust JJ McCarthy. So I'm gonna take Mariota and this offense that's getting more healthy over JJ and his crazy antics. But I can't see. I think a lot of the Vikings players and are just gonna be, they know it's time to cash it in and prepare for next season. So give us both the Commanders to win this game. I would say outright, but I'll take the 2.5 points. Now to speak about the Seattle Seahawks, as we just were, we got the Seahawks versus the Falcons. We got the bird gangs fighting each other here. Seattle favored by 7 points in the over under 44.5. Seattle, as we just said, broke the backs of the Minnesota Vikings. But I know they lost to the Rams, and people are putting the Rams on a pedestal, which they should, but I still think Seattle has an argument to be the best team in the league. They still have an argument. Now, Sam Darnold, I want to see a little bit from. He's getting a little close there to his touchdown interception ratio. I think it's like 19 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. And I'm still, they need to stop relying on JSN too much. I mean, he is everything to this team. He has 1,136 yards receiving. The next guy is 438 receiving, Cooper Kupp. There's nobody even close. It's like the next guy is 1,000 yards less than him. They need to find somebody else who can help, because come playoff time, I don't think you're going to be able to rely just on JSN. Now, I know they rely on their defense, which is really great. Hardcore defense. I think out of all the defenses, I think obviously the Denver has something to say about this, and the Texans. But they play, when I watch, they fly, and their secondary just does smash mouth. But you want to see more of JSN. You want to go Rashid Shaheed, and you don't even implement it in the game. So, you need something more JSN. I've been saying that for weeks now. You need more in that. But let's stay on some positive things. They get some good defenders off the IR. One of their D linemen, who either he's a starter or he plays valuable snaps. He's coming back, and they get their starting safety. I don't know if he's coming back for the game, Love, but I know he is either going to play this week or definitely next week. So they're giving more starters healthy for this game. They're 5-1 on the roads. That guy McDonald, the guy has a great track record on the road. He actually plays better on the road than he plays home, which is crazy to me. So I also think Seattle will use their big formation this game, as in they'll use 2 tight end sets. Because the Atlanta Falcons are one of I think they're bottom 10 in rush defense. So even though I want them to use more weapons besides JSN, I think this game in particular, they're going to use big formations to run with Walker and Charbonnet, which I think they should do. One of the better running back duos in this game. And I guess those weapons do help or are complementary to JSN. But I think when you're throwing, it just can't be JSN. Okay, so I know they have other weapons besides JSN in the running game, but just bring somebody else. But I like them to run a lot in this game, man. And I think their defense, arguably, it's not arguably, they're top three, top five, definitely top five. But I like what I see, and I still think there's an argument for being one of the best teams in the league. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're in agreement with that one.
Yeah, for sure. They're fun to watch. I like how aggressive they are on offense and defense. They're really well coached. They're hard to beat.
Yeah, and all the three losses they have are against three teams that are all potential to make the playoffs. The only one who may not make the playoffs is the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers, because they're fighting for the division, but they still have a great shot to make the team. And they lost to the Buccaneers by 3 points. They lost to the 49ers by 4 points. They lost to the Rams by 2 points. So the teams they lost to, who are potential all playoff teams, they've only lost to a combination of less than 10 points. So this team is in it every single game, and if they're not in it, they're probably beating you. But let's talk to the Falcons. We don't have to spend too much on them. They lost to the Jets, people. They let the lonely Jets, who have a quarterback who is one of the bottom 10 quarterbacks in the league, beat them. What can you say? Robinson had a good game, so I'm surprised they lost. I thought if Atlanta really fed him the ball, they would have won that game. But even they fed him and he had a great game, they still lose the game. Drake London, is he going to play or not? I don't know. They need him like nobody's business because I don't think Mooney and Kyle Pitts is gonna cover it. I still don't like that room whatsoever. They've lost 3 straight home games as well. And also the Falcons have given up 27 points in 3 of their last 4 games. Look, the Falcons like blitzing, and that's what they're going to do against Sam Darnold. Now, Sam Darnold does not like game blitz. I just want to put that out there, okay? The Vikings blitzed Sam Darnold over 60% of the plays, which is insane. And it really bothered him. It did. He had no touchdown passes. He had only 128 yards passing, and he was 14 for 26. Not terrible, but that means that he was throwing short, or not getting enough time for JSN to break out of his route and throwing to him. So they were blitzing like crazy, and that's how you get to Darnold. He's just like Jared Goff from the point that if you could get to him, he gets rattled. And the Seahawks have a good offensive line. So I want to keep that in mind. It's a big spread, 7 points. But if the Falcons can get after, it's the best shot only to win this game. If they can get after and blitz Darnold, and then have maybe Robinson, keeping the Seahawks offense off the field by running the ball a lot, that's how they keep it within the number, man. But when it comes down to me, and this is a bit of a sucker's bet, but I feel like it's a sucker's bet. But because of the combination of the Seahawks knowing they got to keep up, they smell blood in the water because the Rams lost to the Panthers. They still now have they have a good shot. I mean, a really, really good shot of becoming first place in their division since the Rams lost. Seattle's one of the best, if not the best team on the road. And this defense is ferocious. And a Falcons team that's without Drake London, possibly. I got to take the Seahawks to cover the 7 points. And I say that, shakily because if Atlanta's can shake Darnold's, shake him a bit, he will possibly not have a great game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think on the opposite end, Kirk Cousins doesn't want to be blitzed either, and I think Seattle's going to be all over him. So
I forgot that one. He's another guy. If he gets rattled, he is off the chart.
Well, and he's old too. I mean, those old guys can't handle those hits. So if they can bottle up the run game, I think they handle the 7 points.
Yeah, and I like I said, I also want to say that the Atlanta Falcons rushing defense is bottom 10, so you can run them. And I think give me Charbonnet and for anytime touchdown, and Walker probably over his rushing prop. So, but give us both the Seahawks to cover the 7 points. Now let's stick to a game that has playoff potential as well. It really does. Even with this team being 4-8, we have the Bengals versus the Bills, with the Bills being favored by 5.5 and the over/under 53.5 points. Now I say the Bengals have potential playoff applications, but because they still do. They're only, I believe, 2 games out of the AFC North because the Baltimore Steelers are both 6-6, so they still got an outside shot. And I'm telling you what, from what I've seen, the Steelers and Ravens, they actually might have a better shot than we think. But every game's an elimination game now for the Bengals. It just is. If you want to make the playoffs, if you want to win your division, which you're gonna have to do to make the playoffs, every game you have to go into it. Hey, we lose, we're out. We got to win this. So that's why they're going to have a bit of juice for this game. So they're coming off a dominant win against the Ravens. Me and Adam both have the Ravens covering that one plus the points. Joe Burrow, he looked decent. I think he needs some more rust. He had 2 touchdown passings, no turnovers. Completion rate wasn't the best, but I think that's because, it's his first game and God knows how many weeks. So he's only going to get better. The defense surprisingly has held they held Henry to less than 100 yards, which I was I was thinking Henry's going to go game busters against them, but he held him to 60 yards. Good for them. And they're the second because they're also the second worst team against the rusher. They allow teams 153 yards rushing against them per game. And that doesn't bode well because the Buffalo Bills are the number 1 rushing team in the league. So you have the second worst rushing defense that allows 153 yards a game against the best rushing offense in the Bills. Trey Hendrickson is doubtful for this game. He's more hurt than I thought, so that sucks. And Higgins is questionable. And I think they need Higgins for this game because I think this is going to be a shootout, and I think they need him besides Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is going to light it up, people, but I think Higgins, Chase will help them out tremendously because I think their Bengals offense is going to have their Bengals defense is going to be their offense. I think that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to outscore them just like they did against the Ravens game. So it's that. But hey, man, do you believe in this juice? Do you believe that this will give a team? We both mentioned that Joe Burrow probably gives them a juice and confidence to win. But do you think they still have the juice enough to win, or they think they have a? Do you think they give them a chance to make the playoffs? Do you think this team will have the motivation for it?
Maybe. I don't think they can win out though. Burrow is great, and they can put up points on anybody, but that defense is suspect. And this week, I think it's really going to get exposed. But it's great to see Burrow back. He's back just in time to mess up their draft pick, give the Bengals some life, and have a disappointing end to a season that they probably should have just given up on.
Yeah, that's true. Bengals, they have a chance to win the rest of their games if they beat the Bills. They have the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Cardinals, and the Browns. So that if they can actually run the table, go 9-8, that's pretty feasible. But this is their biggest. This is their biggest. I guess their biggest test. Maybe the Ravens, but we'll see. The Bengals have the Ravens number. But besides that, let's talk about the Bills, as we are just saying. As I said, they have the number 1 rushing offense in the league. They come off a win against the Steelers. They beat a one-handed team, the one-handed quarterback Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. They're still looking for a wideout to step up. After Kincaid is gone, it's like they have nobody to throw to. Coleman, the guy got benched a couple of games. Shakir, what happened to him? Shakir, he was having like a couple good or a few good games, and I'm like this now. Where's Shakir? I don't see him. He has a 569 yard receiving, and he's done pretty much nothing in the second half or even a little before the second half. So, they have nobody to throw to. Even Knox has not stepped up since Kincaid's been out. Brandon Cooks, I think he had a touchdown, or he didn't have a touchdown, but he had a good 10 yards or a good couple catches for the Steelers. Cook was their best receiver, their number 1 wide receiver against the Steelers. He had 33 receiving yards on 3 receptions against the Steelers game. That was their best guy against the Steelers game. And Josh Allen only threw 123 yards. So they need more help on the offensive end throwing the ball. It can't just be all Kincaid. Now, Kincaid will come back eventually, but I don't know. Their offense just needs another weapon, more so than way more than the Seahawks. The Seahawks, Jason's a home run hitter. They got nothing but guys who could hit first base or anything like that. So somebody needs to step up if they have a shot to go anywhere, and let alone the playoffs. Okay, so they need that. Both starting tackles may be out this game, by the way. Bosa is also week to week, so both starting offensive tackles could be potentially out for this game. And Bosa is probably not playing this game. He's week to week, and Bosa is their best guy who gets after the quarterback. I don't know. The Bills, as we say before, we don't trust them. We think like, yeah, they're just not. There's something about them that I don't like. They have no weapons really besides Cook, Allen himself, because Allen's has like the most. Besides Stafford, he has the most touchdowns by quarterback, rushing and receiving. God knows he has to play Superman every single game. Darius Slay, they picked up from the waivers. Then Darius Slay said, "Nope, I'm retiring. See you later." So he's not coming to help their team. So I don't know, man. What you're taking the Bills? They are 8-4, so it's not like the ceiling is falling down. But what I'm like, who are you scared of besides Cook and Allen on this team? Like, there's nobody. And now their defense is game reeling, and now their offensive line's beat up. So, what's your take on them? Even though they're 8-4.
Yeah, I agree with you. I haven't been able to get my thumb on what's wrong with them. I mean, they're in almost everybody's top 5 power ranking. They lay eggs against bad teams. Something's just not right. I don't know. Josh Allen can put up points on anybody, and if they show up, they'll make you look stupid. But they're just hard for me to bet on. I mean, their rush game is awesome, though. If they can control that and then, get the big plays when they need it or big throws when they need it, they'll put up a ton of points. I think this is the highest over-under by a pretty big shot this week.
Yeah.
So
Also,
go ahead.
Also, their other DN, he's questionable for this game too. So, where's the rush going to come from these guys? I see nobody. If I'm the Bengals, I see nobody who scares me on this team. And I mean that both in offense and defense. Defense, they have a lot of guys who they've been out. Ed Oliver's been the IR, who's one of their better defensive linemen, their best defensive line, I should say. But there's nobody. Greg Rousseau's the only guy you're feared that could get after the quarterback. Maybe Matt Lamano, but you're telling me the middle linebacker, your best guy who gets after the quarterback, Bosa is out. It's just, and Cook. What I'm trying to get to is, as with the Bengals, as a pursuit of the Bengals, I feel like this game, like their offense is good. Like the Jared Allen's got to play Superman. Josh Allen, why do I keep on saying Jared Allen? He's a defensive end. Josh Allen is gonna have to play Superman, and the offense is gonna have to be their defense. I really truly believe that, and that's why this number is so high. So Cook needs another 40 yards also to surpass Jonathan Taylor, because Jonathan Taylor, like I said, he's been slowing down a bit, so that could be some motivation. But I'm going to take the Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals plus the 5.5 points. I think they think every game's an elimination game. I think that it's going to be hard pressed for them to get after Joe Burrow, and I think with the 2 tackles possibly out for this game, for Josh Allen, I think the Bengals could maybe get at him a little bit, or maybe Allen's not going to have so much time to, in the pocket, whatever. I think with the reeling Bills, who, beat up Steelers, and when they beat the Steelers, their offense numbers didn't look so great. So give me the Bengals plus the 5.5 points.
Yeah, I like it. I think we're going pretty similar today, but I think with T. Higgins back, which I'm reading that he did practice. Okay. They can put up points with the Bills, so I feel very comfortable taking them.
Yeah, give me the 5.5 points with the team. Like, and I'm just looking at this injury report. It's like there's so many people from the Bills, and you know what, Josh Allen, good luck, man, because you got the place. You've been playing Superman since you've been for the Bills, since you've been drafted, and they still haven't really gone to the Super Bowl. So good luck with that franchise. Now let's stick to a team that a team that I also, even though they have a very good record, that I don't believe, like the Bills, something about them. I don't care if the record's 10-2. The Broncos versus the Raiders, Denver being favored by 7.5, and the over under 4.5 points. Broncos coming off a disappointing win against the Commanders, in my opinion, a disappointing win. They're on a 9-game winning streak. Woohoo! I've told you guys last week, look at the teams they beat, pretty crappy, but hey, they're here. They're 10-2. I'm glad that they're probably gonna win the division over the Kansas City Chiefs. I shouldn't swear, the Chiefs, forget the Chiefs. I'm glad that they're doing that. But during that streak of this 9 games, 7 of the 9 games, they've only won by 4 points or less. So during the streak, they've won by a field goal, 2 points, 1 point, 2 points, 1 point. That's it. And can they keep that up? I'm gonna call it right now. I wouldn't be surprised that they're one and done in the playoffs. I only say the only thing that holds me back in that is their defense, which is elite. But don't be surprised at that, folks. You heard it here first. But that's what we have to talk about. The two things you got. This is the two things you got to talk about that comes to Denver Broncos. We don't talk about their defense, okay? They're gonna get after you. They're gonna hit you. Their star corner is back, and Surtain, he is back. He played last week. He's back. Bonita's gonna hurt you. He's gonna punch Matthew in the mouth. The guys all over the field. They got guys everywhere who could sack you. So we know about that. And they're playing the Raiders. So, there's nothing to worry about. But it all depends on Bo Nix. Is he gonna throw the ball correctly? Is he gonna throw it accurately to his people? It's good to see that Evan Ingram had a better game last week for them, but that's all it depends. Depends on Bo Nix' accuracy and how he's going to get there. They're really missing Dobbins. Harvey's not really stepping up and rushing the ball a lot. So Harvey's a good receiving back, not a good running back and rushing back, in my opinion. But, and like I said, the Commanders almost took it to him and almost beat them straight up. But, dude, I don't think with this, we don't have to – I don't know what you're taking the Broncos. I think you're in the same camp as me as okay, you're 10-2, but your offense, I can't get behind it. I just can't.
No, me neither. And I know the defense is good, but they don't scare me like the Browns even, or the Texans, or even the Seahawks. I don't know. When I've watched, I just don't feel like they're as dominant as people are saying. And yeah, the offense is a problem.
And last time they played the Raiders in Denver, they only won by 3 points. Yeah. So it's like, what the hell are you getting? So that's why I say it's a big number. Should we take the Raiders? It's hard. Let's get to the Raiders. Raiders are coming off another blowout loss to the Chargers. Surprise. The team is falling apart. Their terrible offensive line just lost their starting center. So at least one guy who was still there, he's out for on the IR. So good luck with that. They also lost their rookie wide receiver in Thornton. He's out for this game. I believe he's out for the year. But they're in a 6-game losing streak. During that streak, they have lost almost by an average of 2 touchdowns. And Max Crosby has to play Superman on that defense to do anything. And Bo Nix not getting sacked that much. They do have weapons in Tucker and Brock Bowers. We know that. I know that game they played. I don't know if you caught some of that, the Oakland game. I know they moved away from Chip Kelly. I didn't see so much. I know Brock Bowers got a touchdown. It was basically a miracle catch the way he caught him. That's how he got the touchdown. But I didn't see no big difference. Did you?
No. And didn't they hired some O coordinator that's been in the league for ever? I think was their offensive coordinator previously.
He was their coordinator twice in 2 separate times.
It's a joke. I mean, they're almost at officially tanking level. I don't know. I know it says Max Crosby's might be out too. It's over. They're a sinking ship.
100%, and that's kind of the Raiders' MO as a franchise. They are terrible run franchise people. But let's get to it. Well, let's just say something positive here for the Commanders. They have Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers might do something. He has Geno Smith throwing to him.
That touchdown catch was awesome last week.
Yeah,
his second touchdown catch.
By the fingertips. Yeah, he caught that ball. So
I had him in one league, and that put me over the edge, by the way.
Yeah. And I knew that touchdown, that big gift for him to now be in the playoff in our league together. Now he helped me out there. But let's say some positive against the Raiders. Now, as we said, they only lost the Broncos 10-7. But I also want to mention they have won 8 of the last 9 home games versus Denver. So Oakland has their number for some reason. Oakland Raiders. I'm sorry, people. I've been playing Oakland the majority of my life. And also the Broncos have failed to cover 6 of their last road games when facing AFC West opponents. So, dude, I'll let you take this one. The betting markets show that the Oakland stays and they fight the Denver strong. They keep up with them. Common sense says This team is falling apart. The Raiders look like hot garbage. Geno Smith can't throw a goddamn accurate ball. How the Broncos defense might feast on them. What do you think the outcome's going to be, and who do you got?
Yeah, even as a Bronco hater, I'm still going Broncos. I think that defense is too good for the Raiders, and Raiders are too injured. I think they're going to be giving up here shortly.
Yeah, I hear you. But I'm taking the Raiders, baby.
There it is.
Look,
Raiders.
I think this can be a game, and this is just me saying this. I don't know if this is like, but I think it's the game the Broncos are going to overlook. I think this is one of those teams. Remember when the Packers kind of look overlooked? I feel like they were looking towards the Eagles game, I thought, and they dropped that A against the Panthers. Not the Panthers are a bad team. They proved that being the thing, but they have the Packers next week, the Broncos. I think that's one of those. I think we're in a situation that, yes, they're going to win the game, sure, but maybe the Broncos let their guard down just a bit, so the Raiders do a backdoor cover and they do a sneak and it wins. But that's what I'm doing. That's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to be their harder schedule is coming up after the Raiders. They got the Packers, so I think that's what's going to happen. Am I confident? No, but give me the 7.5 points with a crappy Raiders team. God knows I'll be praying on that one. Now, speaking of the Green Bay Packers, the game of the week, as they're calling it. People been looking forward to this game. The Bears, the number one team in NFC North, versus the Packers against the Packers. Packers favored by 6.5 points, open at 7, I think, and the over/under is 44.5. Now, the Bears came off their Super Bowl win last week. The game they haven't won that big in God knows how long. They haven't beaten the Eagles in 14 years, and they finally got a win. To my demise, okay? I know my heart should have picked the Bears to cover that game, but Bears went outright. We'll let you talk about the Packers. Let's just jump about the Bears here real quick. Mm-hmm. I don't care, folks. I don't care that the Bears are number one in the NFC. I don't care that they beat my Philadelphia Eagles. I think it says more about the Philadelphia Eagles than it actually says about the Bears, because the Eagles are now reeling. Things are not going right for them. But I don't care. They could be number one in the NFC. They can be 9-3. I don't trust them. I know what my eyes tell me, and their defense could still be lit up. I know their secondary is getting better. Johnson is back. Good. Stevenson's good. Jalen Johnson, I like him. He's a great corner. Fully healthy. If he could regain that energy he had last year, good corner. Stevenson, I don't know what happened to him. He's not so bad. Their linebackers are getting healthy too. So possibly their defense could get better, but I know my eyes tell me I don't trust him. But I know my eyes tell me when it comes to Caleb Williams. Ben Johnson is scheming more, and it's more coaching winning these games than it is Caleb Williams, because the guy's completion rating is still 58%. So it's still like, here, who's going to catch the ball? That's still leaning toward that. Adonze, DJ Moore. I think if a competent quarterback was there, they would be more scary, but they don't scare me as well. Loveland is stepping up. Okay. Komet stepping up. Offensive line is still protecting Caleb Williams. Is good. I don't like the dink and dunking. The things. What you have to worry about, which is their best thing, I feel like they could beat the Packers with, is the running game. That's their bread and butter. And just how with Ben Johnson, that's how he liked it with the Lions. Gibbs and Montgomery. That's what he liked. Swift has 774 yards rushing at 4.8 yards a clip. Mananjai, whatever you say his name, he has 591 yards rushing at 4.9 yards a clip. And Caleb Williams has 306 yards at 5 yards a clip. So all three of these guys are almost averaging 5 yards a clip. Now that's bad news, because the Packers in the previous 5 games are allowing almost 5 yards a carry to running backs. And also doesn't help that their Wyatt is out for, I don't know the season, but him and Van Ness were their interior linemen. So that is not helping with the team that likes rush the ball. We'll get to the Packers in a bit. I'll let you do a deep dive on the Bears here too, Adam, in a second. So the running is great. The running game has 13 touchdowns. But I'm not selling Caleb Williams, even though he's protected. He's only has been sacked 8 times. The guy's still throwing almost 50-50 balls out there, okay? So I'm not convinced on him. And his throws are only 6.9 yards a pass. He's not throwing the ball to his. He's not throwing the ball deep down the field, people. So the Packers don't have to worry about putting some safeties deep out there. They could put the safeties a little closer to stop the run. But they play great as underdogs. They're 5-1 against the spread as underdogs, so that's good for them. And also thing I want to get back to their defense because I forgot to say it. Their defense only sack if I only have 21 sacks. So even if they get to the linebackers healthy, I'm not really worried about anybody to get after the Jordan Love because Montez Sweat is only your big guy to get after them. And as I take a peek here real quick, yeah, he has 7.5 sacks, and then it's a drop off to another guy who has 4 sacks, and then everybody has 3-1, all that. Now, good signing by Garden Johnson. He's a good pickup by them. He's implemented as their starting slot corner, and he plays some safety as well. He's playing well since they signed him. So, but Adam, they are getting healthier in defense. They best win they've had in God knows how long, maybe since the Packers last year. But their best win of the year was against the Eagles this year. But as I said, I don't like what I see from this offense. I still see, and it's gonna come down to win this game for the Bears. Can Ben Johnson out scheme Matt LaFleur or the defense of the Packers? And I think it comes in. But I mean, I'm not trying to be a hater just because they beat my Eagles. I don't like what I just don't. When I see them, like I see an average team with a good record. You know, I'm trying to take a non-biased approach by this, but that's what I see.
No, you're totally right. I think they've shown that they're a respectable team that can hang with anybody. I shouldn't say anybody. The coaching and scheming is keeping them in a lot of games and winning games. And whatever dorky, I don't know, Kool-Aid he's got them drinking, they're buying in. They're hyped up. The good, better, best thing. I absolutely hate it. I cannot wait to smack them in the mouth. Their team is not as good as their record. I hate Caleb Williams. I shouldn't say I hate him. He's not that good. He hasn't been that good this year. So their run
he looks like a above average quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you see those plays where he spins out of a sack, a for sure sack, and rushes for 10 yards. It's great, but he can't do it every time. And the running game has been good. I saw some plays against the Eagles that were some really cool designed run plays that they executed really well. So, I mean, they are a well-oiled machine right now for what they're doing. But I just don't see that they have enough firepower to hang with the Packers.
Yeah. Now, yeah, well, let's just jump with the Packers. They come off a win, a blowout win, that is, against the Lions. Yeah. Lions, good win. They needed that win to leapfrog the Lions in the standings, but also to stay in, can't believe I'm saying it, but stay in contention with the Bears for first place. But good win, good back-to-back divisional wins. They beat the Giants before that, but they need these divisional wins. They covered both of those games too in the last divisional wins. But the Packers, I don't know. Like, I'm also like, I don't know what I get from what I'm expecting from every week to week as well. Like, so they're 1-6 against the spread this season when they are favored by more than 6 points. So they are not covering spreads when it's more than 6 points. Not that they're not winning, which I know you care about the most, but like, I like they're using Watson a lot more. I think that was a good key thing for them to come back. I like the use of him, and I think it's going to pay dividends in this game. Is Reed coming back for this game? I know he hasn't been cleared by the doctors yet.
They haven't announced it, but I think he's practicing. I have a feeling he's going to play. I do think he's going to play.
Yeah. Golden was limited practice too. Josh Jacobs is limited, but I think Josh Jacobs will play. I think he's just doing limited. And the other guys, Van Ness is non-participant. Hobbs limited. Besides that, I have more confidence in the Packers offense than I do have the Bears offense. I had more confidence. Jordan Love is obviously the better quarterback. That's negotiable. But um, as the Packers have averaged 27 points in the last 3 games, so they are putting up numbers. Um, I don't know like what am I missing from the Packers? Like, well, I Michael Parsons, somebody to deal with. He scares me in the defense. The safety scares me. I think Wyatt is a bit of a bit of a loss. It's not it's
Yeah.
nothing to sneeze about. He was a great run defender for them. And the Bears have a average 178 rushing yards in the last 3 games. What is it you see about the Packers that you think that will pay dividends against the Bears that you think somebody might missing? Because the Bears, people might be turning the corner on the Bears and trusting the Bears because now they beat the Eagles.
Yeah, I think the Packers are coming into this spot in the season where they're going to play their best football. I joked about the Toyotathon last week with Love. Love had 4 touchdowns last week, no interceptions, played great. I think the best from the Packers, we haven't seen the best from the Packers besides what we saw in the beginning of the year. I think the offense is getting better. The defense is playing really well. They held Gibbs, like I said, to like 3 some yards a carry last week. Parsons is finishing games, showing up in all the biggest moments. And the offense is getting healthier. I mean, Jaden Reed coming back is huge. He was playing great in the beginning of the year. I think that's going to be awesome. Dontavian Wicks had an amazing game last week. Basically, anytime the wide receivers for the Packers catch the ball, we're putting up points. So if they can get it together, I mean, my overall theory on both of these teams is Ben Johnson has the Bears playing as best as that team can play. The Packers still have meat on the bone. They're still, I think people don't like how they look sometimes because they could play better. They leave points out there, which if they can live up to their potential, they are, that's why they're in people's top 5 still, because they still have more potential to play even better.
Yeah, that's a good point. They like, particularly the Eagles game, they left some points on the board. Well, I'll get to my prediction. This is tough. It really is tough because 6.5, 7 points for a division team is a lot, and it makes me feel like Vegas, like, yeah, take the Bears. And it does scare me that like Dunze did not practice this for the Bears, and Manungai, the backup running back, he was limited with an ankle injury. That scares me. Stevenson, the other starting corner, did not play this game, and I do like Watson back for the. I like him since he's been healthy and came back for the Packers. He's added a needed element over the top for Jordan Love, because Jordan Love loves throwing that deep ball. They need that, and I think that's good. I think the Packers are going to win this. I really do, and I've gone back and forth with this. I really have, but when it comes to divisional games, I think I'm going to take the Bears plus the 6.5. I think the Bears are gonna now face if they're gonna come, it's the honeymoon's gonna end here. Like I feel like the Packers are gonna win in Lambeau, but I think it's gonna come down. I really think it's gonna come down to Ben Johnson. I really think if he can scheme something up to keep the game close, but there was more particular running game, and it does scare me that Wyatt got hurt. And I saw what they did with the Eagles. And the Eagles, I still think I think it's arguable, but they with a couple teams, with a couple players, the best linebacking core in the league with Dean and Braun, and Braun could be win defensive player of the year again. I think if they could rush on us, they could possibly rush on the Packers, but it's a divisional game, and it's 6.5 to 7 points. I see some of these other books. I think it's a little too much, and they kept the Packers pretty close last year. They kept it pretty close. So even the game the Packers won, and the Packers lost that. The Packers needed a game-winning field goal in the first game last year, and they needed and they lost the game outright in the second game. So I think the Packers win, but I think the Bears keep it close enough and they cover the spread.
Yeah, obviously I disagree. I think the Packers will not overlook this game. I think they have to feel almost not insulted, but absolutely furious that the Bears are the number one team in the NFC North right now. And I hope to God that they come out in a statement game and just put the Bears in their place. I think the Bears will play well, but man, and everybody's kind of hoping it too, but I hope the Packers just come out and stomp them. But it should still be a good game.
Yeah, I think. I mean, like, I am not confident this pick, but I think if this is a game that the Bears can be exposed, this is a game. Like, I don't care. I thought the Eagles' offense is a mess, people. So I have more confidence in the Packers' offense to stay steady and stay consistent, way more to expose the Bears' overreaching team.
Yeah, and that's another point I guess I didn't say. If the Packers come out hot, which they do tend to do, I don't see the Bears having a strong enough offense to come back. Having a good running game keeps you in control of the games, but once you lose control of the game, you need to be able to regain control. And they have been they've had a lot of turnovers, the Bears have. So that can change games. They always find a way to get that lucky stuff, and this year they've been all over it. So that is one thing that can mess things up.
And you're true about that, because the Eagles were the number one team in turnover, not turning the ball over, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And Love is having a great year and was not turning the ball over, but they made Hurts throw an interception, one or two interceptions, one for sure. So,
and a fumble tush push.
Yeah, they're very risk oriented. So they will go for so good point. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers cover. I think that it's gonna be more Ben Johnson scheming for them to the Bears to do anything than I'm more confident in the coaching of the Bears than I'm confident in their players themselves. What I'm saying. So I'm actually gonna be pumped for the game. I'll be watching it definitely, but it's gonna be a good game. But give Adam the Packers to cover and give me the Bears plus the 6.5, and it's gonna be a dynamite game. And then they play in 2 weeks after that. So
I know that's weird. I don't like that, but hey, I'll take 2 wins at the end of the season, 2 division wins.
Yeah, hey, we could be who's gonna be in first place? They'll come that second game. Now let's go to I believe the Monday night, the Sunday night game. We have which it's an divisional game, but that doesn't look like it's gonna be so much fun here. Well, maybe. I think the Cardinals can put up a good fight. Rams versus the Cardinals. Rams be fair by 8.5 points, and the over under 47.5. Rams coming off a loss to the Panthers. I mean, God, that Panthers team, they're on a bye this week, but they're so Jekyll and Hyde. They lose to the Saints, and then they come back and they beat the Rams. It's just unbelievable. The Panthers have some good, solid wins. We're not talking about the Panthers. Panthers made Stanford cough with the ball twice. He threw 2 interceptions. Rams have allowed 57 points in the last 2 road games. So they're not playing so hot on the road lately. So they're letting teams score on them. And the thing about how you beat the Rams, and this is for the Cardinals, if you can protect against that front seven, you can expose this secondary. Now, they want to go to McCree out, which he has hurt. I don't know if he's going to play this game. But just like I said weeks and weeks ago, I've been saying, if you can protect from the front seven, you can pass on this secondary. You could definitely just can. And hey, Jacoby Brissett, he's having his best career year completion-wise. He's leading the team in passing yards. So that guy is having a great year this year for a journeyman. And if you can protect him, he can expose this Rams defense. But, there's not much to say about the Rams, in my opinion. They're one of the better teams in the league. You can arguably say they're the best team in the league. Yes, they have a dynamite offense. I mean, Adams looks like he's going to get over 20 touchdowns just receiving the way he's going. Definitely going to get over 15. Puka Nacua, guy has hands of glue. He could go. They still need Tutu Atwell, I believe, to come off the IR, but that's down the line. They have weapons of glory. Matthew Stafford, still an MVP candidate. I believe he's number 2 now, behind behind May. But also pay attention to their injury report. I know I say sometimes, pay attention to injury reports. They have a lot of guys in there. Tutu Atwell's can come back, actually. So he's full of practice Wednesday. So that's just an added player to their team. Tutu Atwell, I really like him, and he's a good speedster. but pay attention to it because there's a lot of guys on the Rams injured list, and they did lose McCree to the injury to the IR, and they lost their starting safety to the IR. So, like I said, you can pass on the secondary if you can protect. And like I said, we don't have to talk about their offense. They scored 28 points in 4 of their last 5 games. They put up 30 points almost each game. Great guys all around, and they get Tutu Atwell probably back for this game. But their secondary is beat up, and the linebacker core is beat up. So pay attention to that. How do you feel about the Rams, man? Do you think they or do you think they should be argued as one of the best teams in the league?
I do. Yeah. I mean, no team is perfect. This year has been, shown that any team could lose any week, but I think they're extremely complete. And are as good as anybody.
Yeah. Matthew Stafford's looking like vintage Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford. Now let's talk about the Cardinals. Cardinals are coming off a loss to Tampa Bay, but they did cover that game, so good for them. They almost had a good chance to win that game, as I said previously. They're in 4-3 against the spreads, and Brissett's been the quarterback, so they're covering games since he took over. They have 2 covers in the row. The defense has allowed 27 points 5 of the last 7 games. They allowing around 27 points a game. Their defense is middle of the road. Usually you want Gannon, who is a defensive coordinator, who's a head coach, they should play better. But, there's nobody really scared of except a couple guys on that team. So I think the Rams could put up points against them. Like I said, Brissett's having a good year. He's having a best year for completion rating at 67%, which is really good. And you know what? When Marvin Harrison was out, they had to figure out how to and their running back. They had to figure out what weapons they have. Wilson has stepped up. Deutsch that Dosh guy, who's a small, really speed racer, he has stepped up. So the combination of now Marvin Harrison, Deutsch, and McBride, who's top 3 tight end in this league, and Marvin Harrison Jr., that's a decent offense. I actually like that offense a lot. And Bam Knight, who's turned out to be a really decent running back, who's a very good catching running back. He's been looking really good. They might get Benson back for this game. So not bad. Brissett has some weapons around him. It's their defense. Can they hold up against this Rams offense? So, dude, big number. Cardinals have been in it majority of the season for a lot of these games. I know they had a stretch there where they weren't in a lot, but they showed again with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a Buccaneers team that's was not that healthy, but they were getting healthy. I like the Cardinals to cover this 8.5. I do. I like them plus 8.5. They're home. This secondary of the Cardinals of the Rams could be exposed. They are beat up on the linebacking core, and their defense is they're on the injury report all down the list. And I think Brissett not turn the ball over a lot, completing his passes. I think he keep it close enough, and they lose, but they keep it close enough, and they cover against the Rams.
Yeah, they're tough. I want to go with you because I do think they are obviously the best 3-9 team in the league. I know that sounds weird. But I just can't bet against the Rams. I know I'm a sucker for the favorite. And I do. Everything's telling me to go with the Cardinals, but I'm still going to go Rams.
I hear you. I took them against Tampa Bay. I'm going to keep that trend up. They've had some tough competition. They're playing good quarterbacks, and they're still doing decently. But I got you. The Rams could light this team up, But I said that was a Sunday night game. It's not. The Sunday night game is actually a really good game, which I'm not looking forward to watch. It's the Texans versus the Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs being favored by 3.5 points. Over under is 41.5. Now, I don't know what to say a lot about these teams. Let's just say this: the Houston are coming off a very good win against the Colts. In division game, they are 1 game behind the Jaguars and Colts. They have a lot of motivation to win this game because the Colts and the Jags are playing against each other. So they know if they beat the Chiefs, they're going to leapfrog one of these teams. So a lot of motivation here. They defeated 3 playoff potential teams in this winning streak they're on right now. So, because they're on a 4-game winning streak, and in 3 of those 4 games, they're against 3 teams that are probably making the playoffs or have a good chance to make the playoffs. The defense has only allowed 1 team to score 19 points in the last 6 games, so they're holding teams to damn near only two touchdowns almost. And we don't need to talk about the defense, folks. We know about that. Hunter and Will Anderson were the best combo duo when it comes to get after the quarterback. I mean, besides Miles Sanders, if you compile their sacks together, they have over 20, things like 24, around 24 sacks a game between the two defense. They're stingy on everything. Secondary, getting after the quarterback, the run, they are dynamite all over. Top 3 defense in this league for sure. It's the offense you have to wonder about. Is Woody Marks and Nick Chubb, are they going to help and protect CJ Stroud a bit? It's not the best running back duo. I like that they lean towards Marks a little bit more. He is a little bagged up for this. I believe he will play the game, but these are not really guys you want to hang your hat on for when it comes to the running back duo. But Stroud, you got Nico Collins, who looks really great, obviously. But I think because Nico Collins was out, I think using Higgins, their rookie, is a really great thing to see because he's now stepped up as a slight weapon for them. So having Higgins a little bit of a reliable weapon, they're using their tight end Schwartz a little bit more, another nice solid weapon, and they're pretty much their whole injury report. They're pretty clean on offense. So that's a good thing to see. But it's all if CJ Stroud can give it to Kirk, can he give it to Nico Collins, can he give it to Higgins? That's what it depends too, because the defense is going to step up. I know Will Anderson's questionable this game, but I think he will play. Texans look great, man. I think your agreement all depends is their offense going to step up more than their defense.
For sure, and the offense has looked pretty good lately, or good enough. But man, that defense really is taking over games. I don't think anybody wants to play them right now.
Yeah, you have to be, you have to when you're facing that defense. You got to watch out because they'll hurt you bad. Don't matter who you're playing, who's protecting them. Now let's talk about the Chiefs. Great to see that they're going down the thing. Okay, I'm glad that the Eagles are not as bad as them. But regardless of that, they have lost 3 of the last 4 games. They lose to the Cowboys, which I had the Chiefs. Adam had the Cowboys in that one. He called that one. But dude, what's up with them? Mahomes is having a great year. The man's going to throw over 4,000 yards this year. The man's going to go over 30 touchdowns. The man is looking fantastic. I'll let you take away about the Chiefs, but as you know me, their running game is god awful. I think Andy Reid, yes, a genius. GM, pretty good. He's hit some really good marks. Why didn't you not get? I've been saying it for years. Not years. I've been saying for all these season, folks. One of the dumbest things the Chief could have done was not get a half decent guy could get after the quarterback and not get an actual just above average running back. We got Tank Biggs with the Eagles. They could have picked him up we got him for like a 6th rounder. I don't get it, but there's also something up with this. I think correct me if I'm wrong, I'll let you think. There's nobody in this defense. It's like Chris Jones just took a step back.
Yeah.
I mean, the Chiefs, they don't have those fangs anymore. You know what I mean? Teams are like, you know what? I can play smash mouth football against you, and we can win this game.
Yeah, no, you're right. Chris Jones is not the same dominant guy that he was. He's still very good, but they just don't have the pieces anymore. The defense, I think, kept this team at a Super Bowl level. And obviously their offense was usually better as well. The offense is putting up points. But I don't know. I don't know if they didn't make moves because they know that they're not going to make it this year. I mean, they're kind of out if they lose this game, right? I mean,
yeah,
this is it. So I think they saw some good things on offense this year. Mahomes played better. It's good to get Rashid Rice back. But, Kelsey, I would retire if I were him.
Yeah.
They just don't scare you. I mean, besides Mahomes, who can they want to grind it out and outcoach you because they don't have the players. And sometimes they can do that. But they've been tough to watch. Now,
I'm with you. Travis Kelsey's probably going to go over 1,000 yards possibly. Ray Rice has stepped up since he's been coming up there. But when I watch Kelsey, I don't know. He's doing better than last year. I'll give him that. But,
he is.
I still see the steps lost, and I still think a lot of teams aren't like, okay, we got other, But I also think of Ray Rice coming back and a full season of Hollywood
Rashid
Brown.
Rice.
Yeah, Rashid Rice. What am I saying?
Ray Rice.
Oh Jesus, guy. Yeah, not that guy. He's got sorry, any Kansas City fans out there. Rashid Rice, but I think Rashid Rice playing a full season with Hollywood Brown worthy has opened up for Travis Kelce more than Travis Kelce doing things. I think the offense is opening more for Travis Kelce. And Mahomes is having a good year, but yeah, they were so dumb not to get running back. I think the stupidest thing they could have done was not get a decent running back. But besides that, what it comes to me in this game is this: you're playing against a team that could get after the quarterback like nobody's business, has a stingy defense like nobody's business as well. But and here's the key kicker: both starting tackles are out for the game for the Kansas City Chiefs. Both left tackle, right tackle are gone, and you could get after Mahomes. I am sorry, just like what happened to the Philadelphia Eagles. The man fell like a house of cards. Okay, he'll play. He's still Mahomes. He's still gonna get those yards. Okay, and he's even though how stingy his defense is, but you got Will Anderson come from one end, you got Hunter from the end, and both of your tackles are out. I'm not liking that. So that's what it comes down to me. Oh, also, their starting guard is out too. So 3 starting offensive linemen could be out, but for sure 2 the starting tackles. So yes, is the Texans offense not so great? No. But there's something about this team, the Texans, who are hot right now. I feel like they're seeing more blood in the water than the Chiefs do. The Chiefs, they know this is well, I'll let you take it, man. Do you think the Chiefs, they know they have to win this game? Now they're beat up on the offensive line. Do you think they have what it takes to win one out, to grind it, because it's gonna be a grind this game against this defense? Do you think they have enough will to grind it out? And do you think Mahomes could actually prevail without his tackles and win this game and cover?
I don't. I just like too much what I've seen from the Texans defense, and you don't want to grind it out against them. They are going to make it really painful. And, if anybody could do it, the Chiefs could do it. But I'm not putting my money on them. I'm Texans all day.
Yeah. I want to check something in real time. I want to see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just want to see. I want to see the history between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Texans. That had nothing to do with what I was saying. I thought they've had the Texans number a bit, but for this year is totally different, as we can tell, because of the writings on the wall. They've lost 3 of the last 4 games, and their best win, the best win they have, the Kansas City Chiefs, is actually the Lions. They've only beat the Raiders, Commanders, Giants, Ravens, and the Colts. Okay, I'll give the Colts is probably the best win, but as you guys can tell, the Colts are on the downtrend too. So with that, I'm with you, man. I like the Texans plus the 3.5 points. I think it's I think I don't like that these tackles are out. I think they're going to rattle Mahomes' cage, and I think they're going to get after Patrick Mahomes. I think, yes, he might play Superman, but you know what? I think the Texans can actually win this outright. But I actually think they could. I think if anything, they'll cover this number. But they do not look the same, and I like that the Texans are a hot team right now. So give us both the Texans plus the 3.5 points. Now let's get back to the other Super Bowl team, the Super Bowl champions, my Philadelphia Eagles. Now, a lot of Eagles fans think the earth is falling right now. The sun is exploding and the world is ending. They are vandalizing the offensive coordinator's residence. I love being an Eagles fan. But there's something about this fan base. I don't know what the lead is in the water pipes down there in Philadelphia, but like last year, they're holding signs at the practice facility, the Eagles fans, saying "Run the ball." So I love how passionate they are. I'm very passionate like that, and they let their team hear it. But the Eagles, losing to the Bears, I think, is one of the worst losses they've had in a long time. You haven't lost to the Bears in 14 years. And as me and Adam both said, I think a lot of people think the Bears are still a little bit of frauds. That fool's gold, as I call it. And you lose to them. And you were never leading in the game. They had your number the whole damn way. That should be embarrassing. That game, and I don't want to rattle too much about this, that game was a combination of bad coaching and just everything between. not relying on the running game more, not using Tank Bigsby more. Tank Bigsby averaged 9 yards a carry, and you're not using him. Barkley is either a little beat up from taking all those carries from last year. The offensive line is beat up. We already know that. Okay, 4 out of the offensive linemen, one Johnson being out for multiple games, but all 4 have been on the IR or have been out games because of injury. They're all hurt. Malata left tackle is the only one who's been kind of staying healthy. We know that, but everybody's beat up in the league, okay? But not give the running back who has more juice, more energy, give him some play. Tank Bigsby, okay? AJ Brown has been getting his flowers. He's been killing it, but we lost those 2 games. We need to get back to the running game and using play action. And what kills me is Hurts saying that he's the one who told the people he doesn't want to run that much anymore. Hey, buddy, I'm sorry. The most successful we've been has been the RPO when you've used your legs with Barkley. Shut the hell up. You're got $50 million a year. You need to bite the bullet and you need to run the ball with Barkley. I don't care. You're not a stand-up, accurate passing quarterback. You are a mixed quarterback of running and passing. It's the bread and butter that teams have to worry about you running and you not saying, I don't want to run anymore. Well, tough shit. You're getting paid $50 million. Do it, okay? It would help the running game in general. Besides that, bad coaching in general.
Sorry, I had to interject here. What you just said about Hurts reminded me of when Sydney Sweeney said that she wanted to do less topless scenes in the next Euphoria seasons.
Like, what are you talking
about? That's what you're here for.
Yeah. How do you think we're paying the bills? How do you think why people are tuning in? It's like, what are you talking about? Yes, that's exactly the same thing. What do you think you're getting paid for? Why do you think how this is being successful? Okay, I want to hear that crap. Okay, that's how we're doing now. Nick's with the definition of insanity, a team saying, "Oh, we're not going to change the offensive coordinator." Every person in the press was asking Sirianni, "Are you changing or changing?" Now, 2 years ago when we had that meltdown, they did change the offensive coordinator call. They changed calling, but they didn't say they didn't tell anybody that. So there might be something going on here that they might take it away from Patullo, and they're not telling anybody that because something needs to change. This is an offense that's so inconsistent. It's unbelievable. Okay, with all these weapons, we should be a top 5 offense. Okay, people. So with that, also I want to point out breaking news. If nobody heard, Jalen Carter's out for the game. He's had a procedure on both his shoulders, so he might be out multiple games. He said personally that he wants to he wants to be more healthy when playoffs come. So apparently he's been playing that since week 2 in the so he's been playing with a shoulder injury. So that's bad because when he's out the game, it kind of hurts. But I think usually when he's out, affects the whole defense. But because Nakobe Dean is back and he's playing all-star Pro Bowl level, I think that kind of helps a bit. So, but big deal that he's out for that game. Eagles are not. I'm ranting against them. I want the defense to step up more. Sidney Brown is terrible. He's taking Makuba's chances. Makuba fractured his leg. We won't get Makuba back to probably the playoffs, if that. But Mike Epps, the other starting safety who was a safety for the Raiders, he was now coming back for IR. He is playing this game, and he's gonna start for this game. So that is good. He's a step above Sidney Brown. So Epps is there, really good. I want to see more. They got to get that after the quarterback. Jaden Phillips had two good games when he came to sign with us. Now he's taken us a little bit, I guess sitting on his hands a bit the last 2. We got to get him going. We got to get after the quarterback. That's the only way this team's going to survive against the Chargers with a team that has a hurt quarterback. And I know I'm rallying against the Eagles here. I want to keep people in mind that we have all-stars everywhere. It's about just putting this team together. We're also 9-3 against the spread on the road in the last 12 road games. So we're really good on the road when it comes to this, and we are favored in this game. Chargers, coming off a blowout win, they look good. They got to stay in contention to win a wild card spot because the Denver Broncos are kind of running away with the division. They're 2 games behind them. They got to win. But big news, obviously, Justin Herbert fractured hand, non-throwing hand. But if you get sacked, that's going to hurt. It's not your non-throwing hand. But if you get hit, and he had surgery in the hand on Monday, it's going to hurt like crazy. So if you get after them, that's why I told them we need a blitz more. We need to get after them. I think it'll rattle them. And doesn't look like they're going to get their star running back rookie. It looks like he's going to be out. So it's going to be Vidal. Vidal's playing decent, but I'd rather have Vidal in there than Hampton in there. So I believe it's Hampton, whatever his name is. That's good. They still have a good McConkey, Johnson. Their defense is actually good. But the thing is the offensive line. The offensive line without Alt has been below average, even maybe a little worse than below average. And that's the key. If the Packers can get after if the Eagles can get after the Chargers, that's how you could do it. That's how you could do it. He's injured and this offensive line is hurt. And you're gonna have to add some extra juice here because Jalen Carter is gonna be out for this game. He's gonna be out for multiple weeks. But I'm glad he's out now because after the Chargers, we play the Raiders, the Commanders, and then we have one more game against the Bills. But we have the 29th ranked remaining left schedule after murderous row of the schedule we had before. I also want to remind people the Chargers have beat 4 really crappy teams out of the last 5 teams they've won. So they've won. They're a good team, but the wins they have are against 4 crappy teams out of the last 5. So, man, you took the Bears to beat my Eagles. You took the Bears to plus the number. They covered. Then you took the Eagles to cover against the Cowboys, and they've lost twice. So you've been bad luck charms against my Eagles. I'll let you take this one once again. And who do you got?
I got the Eagles.
Oh, Lord.
I think so. The only games the Eagles are winning lately are when their defense can dominate. Like you said, with Joe all out, I do think that defense can take over. But God, that offense has been really bad, and it hasn't been for 2 weeks. It's been for like over a month now. Oh, so 100%. There's some real problems there. But if the defense can take over like I think they can, I'll take them. But I don't like this one.
No, I hear you. But I also want to say the Eagles are 5-0 in the last Los Angeles games. The Eagles, like the Seahawks, they have a good road record. They love playing on the road. Going back 2 years, it's like this year, and this year, they love playing on the road. What it comes down this to me, I think with the 2 losses are going to light a fire with them, and I think there's going to be some changes. I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Hurts is running the ball more in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they do some kind of shake-up different, but I think they're going to get back to the running game. But I also don't like Jay. I don't care that it's not his non-throwing hand. He will be in pain, folks, if you get after him. But I think with Abs coming back at safety, they don't have to worry about anything over the top. I think they learned their lesson getting to have their ball run on them. And they're going to – Campbell, I do not know how our great linebacker rookie – you know how much snaps he got in the Bears game? 0 snaps. And he's now Nakobe Dean is playing literally Pro Bowl level. Since he's been off the pup list, not just me, and everybody's saying it, ESPN analysis, that guy's playing lights out of football. Him and Braun are him. But Campbell is 6'4". He's big. He's bigger than both linebackers. They should have put him in the game to start running back. I think, like Vic Fangio said, that it was a mistake not to play him. I think he's going to get some play to stop the running game. So I think the Eagles could win this. Hell, if they win by a field goal, they cover. But I think they could win this by at least a field goal. And, damn well the Eagles fans are going to be in Los Angeles because nobody comes to those LA games. So give me, and Adam, bad luck charm guy, for the Eagles to cover the 2.5 points. All right. So those are our picks for week 14. Now let's get to our best bets. Me and Adam both went 2-2 in our best bets. So we're not having a losing week. I'll start first out of my best bets here. This one's a bit ugly. It's going to be an ugly game in general, but I don't know how the Titans are going to score on the Cleveland Browns. I just don't know how they're going to put anything together whatsoever. I think whoever gets the 14 points wins this game, but I don't know how the Titans can get. I have no idea. They'd be lucky to score 6 points in this game. So I'd like the Cleveland Browns to cover the 4.5 points in Cleveland. And then, you know what? I think it's going to be a shootout. I think this is going to come down to the wire who's going to win the game, but I think this is going to be a shootout with I'll just get to why am I talking so much? Give me the Rams and the Cardinals over 47.5 points in this game. I think the Rams are going to score a bunch of points like did against the Panthers, and I think the Cardinals are going to score points against this beat up defense that is the Rams. Brissett's having his best year completion rating wise, and I think he could get after this and score some points against this Rams defense. So give me the over in that game. And then my third and final game, I'm going to take him. I took him last week. I'm going to take him this week. Give me the Saints to cover the 7 points against the Atlanta Falcons. Look, Seattle plays great on the road. They just do. They have an amazing defense. They got more defenders getting healthy on this team. And if you could rattle Cousins' cage, the guy's as shaky as a leaf, and Drake London might not play this game. And even BJ Robin has a lot of rushing yards. They could possibly lose as they did last week. So I think they come in, they cause havoc against the Atlanta Falcons offense, and the Seahawks win and cover the 7 points.
All right, I like them. I can start with mine here. So first, I want the Steelers over the Ravens. I don't like Lamar. I don't like the Ravens offense, and I think Rodgers and Tomlin are going to start their little farewell retirement tour and go out with a bang this season. Second one, I also like the Seahawks. They're just too good of a team, and the Falcons have been really unstable, and I think Kirk Cousins is going to be a liability.
Yeah.
In this one.
They only have they basically just have Robinson.
Yeah, and he's had up and down games too. And then finally, I want the Packers, baby.
Ooh,
I want the Packers.
I knew it.
This is the game of the week. People are playing double price, so the fibs are driving up to pay double price to watch the Bears double doink and lose in Titletown, baby. I think. I hope it's a SmackDown, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's tough. Like that's it's gonna be a really great game. I really do, and damn well the Bears fans are driving up there, but yeah, I think it's gonna be an awesome game, dude. I can see it. But hey, I'll watch it. I'll be there. You going to any of the games in Lambeau?
No, I don't know. I haven't enjoyed them recently. They're expensive, and I love it on the couch at home with my own beer.
I know. Everybody talks about games being in person, but it's fun. Better playing them. It's more comfort while playing them on your couch, watching them on your couch. I should say. All right, guys, I'm done talking. Stumbling off my words. We try to make this shorter. It didn't really happen, but with that. Like and subscribe, guys. It goes a long way. We love doing this. It's Packers and Bears week. It's going to be an amazing week. Monday Night Football for my Philadelphia Eagles. Great games. So many divisional games. All these games a lot of these teams are fighting for playoff spots. Nobody's really like this Super Bowl is still kind of wide open. I mean, anybody could step up and take over the reins, or they could be any of these teams could get to the Super Bowl this year. Chiefs are down and out almost. Eagles are reeling. Anybody could take the throne. So this season is awesome. So guys, like and subscribe. Week 14's in the books. We're still above 500 in all of our picks. So if you're following us, you're winning some money. So with that, guys, we love doing it. We'll always see you in the next one. Week 15. Be careful out there. Bet responsibly. And as usual, we'll see you in week 15.